What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and it has been a hot minute, but we're moving on with Hail Caesar faction reviews here. So we're moving today to the Tagmatic Byzantine army, which is the professional army, as opposed to the earlier thematic list that we looked at. So it's another doozy in the sense that there's just so much going on here. So many different units to choose from, so many different ways that you can attack list building and really have an answer for just about everything that is out there. So this list more or less covers 10th through 11th centuries. Lots of different things to look up here if you want to get some sort of thematic background and just a little more history and background on the force itself. Great way to look at it. This one has a cool ability here as well with the fire siphons, which basically cause instant break tests if you damage people, or hit them rather. So a lot of cool stuff going on. So this is a list that can lean more heavily towards cavalry or infantry if you want it to, but you do have to have a little bit of everything here. So infantry and cavalry at 25%. Of those, there's some specifics here. The con teratoi have to be 25% of the infantry, and the tagmata have to be 25% of the cavalry. You do have artillery in here again, and up to 3 units there of bolt throwers, and then our pretty typical division and skirmisher layouts. So let's jump right in because there's so much to discuss for this list. So starting with heavy infantry, it's great that we actually have heavy infantry, period. But your typical heavy infantry stat line here with the Conteratoi, mixed long spears and javelins. We could go mixed ranks of long spears and bows if we want to have a little bit of long range firepower. And for 1 point, that's well worth considering. We could also take half of the units of these that we're going to field and make them elite for 6 points. It's pretty pricey, but still a cool ability to have elite in quantity. We could also basically pay extra here to equip them. It has to be the elites actually that we equip too, so you got to take one to then get the other. But with additional armor for the front rank, gosh, can't even talk. The front rank, and that will actually give us stubborn. It's not actually giving us any actual armor boost as far as the morale save stat goes, but for 3 more points, we're looking at stubborn as well. And again, everything has drilled here once we get to the elite as well. So you do get, for the 6 points for that previous investment, 3 and 3 apiece there. So really, if we start going through all the upgrades so far, we're looking at basically like 39-point units. But if we wanted to take some of these, so the non-elites, and actually make them cheaper, just to be able to have more of those, and then that way we can, the other half of the units we field will be the regulars that we make elite. That's a sort of way of getting it at a discount, but that's a 3-point discount to go with levies, and kind of have those be second-line troops. That's a way to go. Now we do have another super awesome unit here, the Varangian Guard, which a lot of folks should be familiar with if you're even thinking about Byzantines. It's a heavy infantry unit with double-handed axes. We only get one, so you might as well buy it just to get that those special features that it delivers. Actually has a clash of 8, and then fairly typical on the rest of this, the heavy infantry stats, but then also drilled, elite, and stubborn come built in here, so you get a little bit of a discount. And then no long range, but you do have the double-handed axes, so they should hit pretty hard. You have allied Rus heavy infantry with assorted arms, and you could also pay to give them double-handed axes for half of these units. It's just another way to get some more heavy infantry, but these guys have tough fighters, which is always welcome. And again, taking some with the double-handed axes just for that extra hitting power, 1 more point there. We could also get Rus or light infantry archers, so again, our first big long-range, dedicated long-range unit, so nothing to sneeze at there. 3 on long range is always great. We could also drop them into small units for a pretty solid discount and still have a 2 for that. We get a fair few skirmishers here. So we have Siloi with javelins, pretty standard stuff there. The slingers making an appearance again, so give us more long range. Again, these are all small units. And then here we have crossbows. In the description up above, it says better to treat them as bows as far as specific stats and stuff. So something to think about there. But yeah, another 2 on long range there. The notes for the army description up above. But wait, there's so much more. So again, really got to do some planning on the size of the game you want to play, but then also figuring out just what all you're going to make your army composition for. More skirmishers here, so just actual bows, and then the bows, you could make the Solinarian, so that gives them marksman for 1 extra point, well worth considering just for that 1 unit, make it a little bit more effective. Skirmishers with staff slings as well. Again, yet more long range, 12 points for that. Now the fire siphon unit's really cool, something unique. I don't even know who would make models for it, but you only get one. But they're marksmen, which is interesting for basically a unit with a flamethrower. Short range, obviously, but well worth considering taking, because again, if you hit them, the unit, the opposing unit, has to take a break test, and just being able to constantly force those things upon an enemy is pretty damn cool. But obviously, got to protect that unit. So that's all infantry. But wait, now we get into the cavalry. There's still so much to go. So we have the Cavallari, heavy cav with mixed ranks of lances and bows. 32 points a pop there. These are, again, some more of our heavy hitters. This list really is punchy. But, again, always nice to have these sort of toolbox units where they can do a little bit of everything. So, now ideally they should be focused on combat, but in a pinch, being able to shoot is still pretty cool. So, and pretty nasty at short range, but they have the long range ability here too. So that's 34 points a pop. We can then make them cataphracts, elite Tagmatic cataphracts. So 7 points is pretty damn pricey, because now we're already in the 40s for unit cost, but we do add drilled and elite, which is pretty damn good. Now we could also, without any other restrictions, make them all brave as well. It's another 3 points, so you're looking at 44 points there. But drilled elite brave is cool. And then levies, if you wanted to go for a discount, if we just want to make the regular ones a little bit cheaper. So things to consider there. Light cavalry, we're spoiled as well. We give the Trapezitoi with javelins as small units. They have feigned flight. We could actually give them lances if we wanted to punch a little bit too. Pretty cool there. Feigned flight still, so 2 points for that upgrade. And then if we wanted to, we could give them incorporate bow armed riders into javelin or lance armed groups, so we have like some mix and match ability there. But another way of getting another one for long range there, 1 point there, and we still maintain feigned flight and all this. Like, we are so spoiled with special rules in this list. You can also have Turk or Q-Man light cav with bows and javelin, so a little bit better in that regard. So 2s on the long range there for that, 21 points and feigned flight still. We could also have Alan, Pecheneg, or Cuman horse archers fielded as small units. Here we get Parthian shot, still more 2s on long range. Turk, Pecheneg, or Cuman heavy cav with javelins and bow, so kind of an interesting unit versus the Cavalry up above. They kind of do more in the sense that they have better range stats, but no special rules for them, so oh darn. But still 32 points there for yet another option. Frankish heavy cav with lances, so again, we're so spoiled in this list. More super punchiness, heavy cavalry, and tough fighters for them. And then we have Akratoi heavy cav with lances, no special rules, but 1 point cheaper. So here, clearly, I think, you go with the Franks. For 1 point, you're getting tough fighters. It seems like a good discount. Artillery is pretty damn simple, because it's just bolt throwers, and you have access to take 3 units. Well, guess what? Take 3 units. 18 points a pop, another 2 for long range. And interestingly here, I think for the first time ever, artillery that actually has a special rule. These guys are drilled, so really good stuff there. So you should just be able to rain hell. Also, just to wrap up, leadership 8 across the board, right? But leadership is solid in this list. And again, you're just so spoiled for choices, tons of special rules, a variety of special rules, super punchy. You got all kinds of heavy infantry, heavy cavalry. Like, you're gonna really just punch the enemy hard, and as long as your dice aren't god awful, really you should be doing all kinds of work. And really, you have just the sheer volume and variety of missile troops, short and long range, to punch holes in the enemy and either start softening them up for when you get those charges, and then to start punching holes through units and into their back lines and stuff, start getting rear and flank charges. But then anything that has been softened up, should you, maybe screw up, lose a unit here or there, or, the enemy somehow wins, just the sheer volume of missile troops you can bring, you should be able to focus fire onto opposing units and start getting breaks there as well. So many different things just to think of there. So this is an awesome list, but let us know if you've run this Byzantine list here. So the thematic Byzantine army for Hail Caesar, really good stuff. Love to hear your stories on that. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. That helps continue to support the channel. And for those who want to support us a little bit more, we do have a Patreon. Nothing unique or special planned specifically for Hail Caesar just yet for the Patreon. But, you know, if there's anything you guys would like to see, certainly gameplay is obviously on the top of our minds at some point. We are kind of waiting, though, until Warlord gets around to Epic Hail Caesar, just because I think that'll be a little more fun and easier to collect multiple armies than opposed to 28 mil scale. But hit us up in the comments, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.